and because of that, was very blessed. Earned my car, and then earned the iPad, then earned my car. And I love the possibility of being able to give back to others. And in this season, I think that's one of the main things, is to be able to give back to other people. It's my pleasure today to be able to introduce one of my uplines, 3-star Edie McBean from Rochester, New York. We're so blessed to have Edie here, and so excited for her to be able to share today her story and everything that she's been able to do to bless all of us. Edie?
Yikes. Hello, everyone. Actually, I was just posting on Facebook my current situation, which is a picture of all of you wonderful people out there with your... Hey, you know what? Do me a favor. Everyone kind of move up a little bit. No? A little bit? Just move up and in. You'll make me feel better because you're all up a little farther. I'm going to turn off my phone because I know it'll be ringing. Love this stage. Love this hotel. Love everything about it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming out this morning. I know it's a busy month. It's December. We all have a lot of stuff going on. But I really appreciate you all coming out. How many of you are looking at the business? How many of you are guests checking out the business? I know a lot of you are brand partners. We have some guests in here too, so thanks for coming out. We have this thing called a market party for the market, everybody. And what we do is we have different guest speakers coming and talking about our business that we so much love. I'm just going to give you a little background on me. How's the volume on here? Carol, thanks for the excellent electronics and sound system that you set up here. I'm actually a former disc jockey too, but what I had was the wireless microphone, the handheld, and I always wanted the Garth Brooks kind, you know, the one over the ear. So I've gone another step further. So I have the little thing where I have the holster. I've got the little speaker right here, so you can't even tell I mic up. I love it. So anyway, my name's Edie McBean. I live in Rochester, New York, which is about 7 hours from the city. I say I'm from New York. I think I live in a high building. I have a house with grass. I live in a town. But that's where I'm from. I've been doing Nerium for 3.5 years. The company is a little over 4 years old. They were 9 months old when I joined. I was doing silver jewelry. I loved what I did. My girlfriend in California said, check this out. I did. I jumped in. I loved it so much that I quit jewelry that I had been doing for 8 years, and now here I am. I'm a lifer. I got my tattoo changed from the jewelry emblem. Actually, their headquarters is right here in Overland Park. So I had a little arrow, and so I had to change. I had to cover up. So now I have an oleander ×2. So if you look at my feet, it's real. It's not an emblem. So I'm a lifer. So that's who I am. I just kind of started as a whim to see how far I would go. I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't broke. I wasn't destitute. I was pretty happy with where I was. But I thought, here's another thing. Let me just challenge myself and see what I can do with this new business. And I did, and I ran, and it ended up being better than my 8-year previous business. So I left that, and now I'm a lifer with a double oleander on my foot, which is kind of fun. So I got my iPad, I earned my Lexus within 3 months. I promoted to National Marketing Director, and I was making 6 figures within 1 year. That's my journey. The only thing that I can say as far as why I am where I am and I was where I was so relatively quickly is because I'm friendly. And all you really have to do in this business is be friendly and love what you do. And I always say to people, take the business, whatever you do. Look at her coming in with that sort of. I love that. Yay. That's not my... So anyways, once you take the business from your head to your heart, meaning your head, like I'm going to do this and I'm really nervous and I've got to learn this enough to your heart to love it and share it. That's where you're going to see success, right? So I'm just sharing that for all the brand partners here today, but I'm also sharing it for anyone looking at the business because it's really easy. It's really, really easy. So that's it. Here we go. Your experience. Is going to tell you a little different. Up? Apart? Got it, thanks. So Nerium, I'm going to give you a little background before I really start this about how Nerium was started. It was actually an accidental discovery, like Post-it notes, and they didn't really need to create this anti-age product, but they did out of an accidental discovery, out of melanoma research. There's a company by the name of Nerium Biotech, and they're out of MD Anderson Hospital in Houston, a big cancer institute. And they were looking for a cure for melanoma. They didn't find the cure, we would have all gotten the memo, but what they did find was the clinical trial patients, they're using this cream on their face to try to fight the melanoma on their skin. They noticed that their faces were getting younger looking. Their sandiness was going away, they were getting tighter. Their lines were going away, their discoloration was getting a little bit lighter. So they said, wow, this is really cool. So they decided to market it out. So when you have a new product, what you do is one of three things. You go on infomercials and hire Cindy Crawford to tell that she uses this great product, but she's not really using the product, she's making a lot of money to do the ad. You know, that's how they all go, right? Okay. Or they could have gone retail. So they could have gone retail and put them in all the stores, but then they would have been lost in all the other anti-aging things on there. So they decided to go network marketing on the advice of their attorneys. That's how our company started. So they got our CEO, he said no, unless it really works. So 2 years, I'm just telling you there's a lot of background to this product. 2 or 3 years of third-party testing to say, yes, it really works, 30% average improvement on all the signs of aging. That's how our company was born. Usually when a company starts, a few people get together, they find a product, an energy drink, a weight loss product, whatever. They say, let's make some money, and they start a company. Whereas we had a product that needed to go out into the community, into the world. And that's the difference, because we have a product that really works. We began 4 years ago, I mentioned that already, so we're still ground floor. Anybody that joins the company within the first 5 years is right there. So when you're on a rocket ship, and you are within year 5, you're right there in the ground floor. As we grow, and you're going to go nothing but up and to the right. I'm not saying that year 6 is bad, but year 4 is better, so think about that. We are all the Nerium Buzz now. Everything that we've done is person to person organically. We have not been in any ads in the beginning. When I started, there was nothing. We had one bottle. Actually, could somebody hand me that? There's a plastic bag in my big purse. That big purse, big black purse. Okay. So here's my business. Here's half of my business. Does anyone have a firm and an EHT I can add in the bag for a minute? Anyone have a firm on them? Yes. Or an EHT put it in my bag? So I didn't travel with that. Thank you. There's the fourth product. Anyone have a firm on them? Bring it up. Thank you. So, thank you very much. So, this is my business right here. This is all I have. When I was in jewelry, I had a whole Jeep full of jewelry. It used to take me 45 minutes to set up for my story, for my parties. This is it. We have 4 things. In the whole, 1 thing a year, kind of, sort of, right? When I started, all we had was this one. This is all we had. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Get multi-dip. All we had was this. In our very first year, we sold $100 million in just the United States, just for this one little bottle. Pretty amazing how we were breaking all the world's records. No one was understanding how our little company out of Addison, Texas, was doing so well with just this brand new company. I started on month 9 in the company, so I like to say that I helped make that 100 million mark because I was there 3 of those 12 months. So anyway, that's it. Then they added the day cream after a year and a half. And this was the magic. This is an additive just for the morning. It's a moisturizer and half of the tightening. You can't use this alone. And then they came up with the Firm, which is firming out of the top. I can do more about that later. Firm. Here's your personal Firm. You can see it's used up. Some of it. This is the Firm, and what you do is you put this on your, I call them over arms, or the ladies with the big arms, little muffin tops. People that are bodybuilders, you can get muscular, but you can't get rid of that skin. If you have skin where you don't want it, this will take care of it. So a lot of the bodybuilders, they're in wonderful shape, are using this. A lot of the trainers are. And our last product, a little summary, is the EHT. This is my favorite. I'm going to talk more about this later. This is the brain pill. This is going to make all of our lives a lot better. So this is the last product. There are a couple more breakthrough products coming out. I don't know what they are, but they're all going to be in the realm of anti-aging. So right now, our business is this, and we have sold $1 billion in just under 4 years. Could you hand me my book, my best book right next to you? Sorry, guys. So this is on the newsstand right now. Right there, thanks. Thanks, Dan. This book right here. Oh, somehow I did that. I didn't even mean to do that. Pretty cool, huh? See this book right here, Success from Home? I got a free copy before it came out. But this is on the newsstands right now. Maybe not all of them, Borders, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, maybe some of your grocery stores, maybe Whole Foods. This is it. And we have sold $1 billion in 4 years in just 4 countries now. Okay, so I just want to share that with you. So this and this make me real proud. All right. So now we're in magazines. Well, all kinds of magazines. People are starting to pay attention big time. So, how many of you seen before and after pictures? A lot of you have, right? Can I tell you something? They're all real. They're not Photoshopped, they're real. I actually just posted up a picture of myself 7 years ago and this year. And I kind of look the same. I really kind of feel good about not having gone downhill. But all these pictures are real. These are mostly brand partners. Some of them I know. You know the lady, Julie Williams, who had the back, who lost weight, who lost all that weight, and then she lost her skin on her back? This is her face right here. That's my friend Julie. So all these pictures are real. They're all real results. This is a brand partner in Arizona. This is, I think, I heard 30 days, and he got rid of a whole lot of lines on there. Yes, it's a product for men as well. Oh, thank you. Let's look at that again. There they are. I can see them better. They're all real. They're not Photoshopped. And when people say to me, how could that be real? How could that be 30, 60-day result? Is it permanent? Yes, it is. But you're going to keep on aging anyways. These are all real. So I say, why don't you use it for a month? And then what's going to happen is people are not going to believe your pictures. So create your own pictures. And here's a gentleman from Arizona. Thanks for the light turned on. You can really see a big difference. He obviously lives in a land of sunshine, and he had a lot of sun damage. But that is, anyone know his name? I don't know his name, but I know he's a brand partner. Paul. And this dude right here, there's kind of like a joke about him. Like that's his credit card swiper. Who gets one line? He did. One line. And he also, his pore size went down a whole lot too. These are gentlemen using the product. So it's not a girly thing. It's everyone thing. Everyone has skin. This lady here has these crow's feet. Pretty amazing. Within 30, 60 days, her face is smooth. I mean, this makes me pretty happy. This is my friend Kenyon Taylor. She lives in Ojai, California. She's a brand partner. I met her face before I met her in person. I met her at a conference in Anaheim. It was a regional, and she was there, and I was staring at her. She goes, hi. I said, is it you? And she said, uh-huh. She goes, uh-huh. So the next week we asked friends. I mean, she really did. I'm not kidding. It was 2 years ago. Uh-huh. And then she went and got her business card, and I have it, and it's her picture. And we've been really great friends ever since. This is 60 days right here, folks. This is the real deal. There she is. Can you see it? Your way. There she is. She's a beautiful woman. If you saw her picture now, She got long blonde hair. She's really cool. This lady shows the difference between what it looks like to use. This is just the Nerium. All these pictures are just the night cream, not even the day yet, because they're all older pictures before the day came out. Now look at her neck. Do you think she's happy about that? And people in California really can't wear scarves all the time. Even in the winter, it doesn't get that cold. People in the East Coast and the central U.S., we can wear scarves and cover it up, but, people in California can't. So I'm pretty happy about that. This is a décolleté, spelled décolletage. It's a French word, and this is from problems with your chest, lines on your chest. This woman lives in Florida. She gets way too much sun. We don't have that problem in the Northeast or the central North U.S., but there she is. Also from side sleeping, and this is the anchor chest. This picture kind of scared me when it came out. I didn't know what it was. This is using the firm, the Nerium firming, and the firming is something that we put on our skin twice a day, and it's going to make it smoother. This is not for the face, this is for the rest of your body. And this is a woman's arm. And I think she lost about 20 years of her life in that picture. I think she's pretty happy about herself too. This is also a friend of mine, Stacy Madagros. She lives in Riverside or Riverview, California. There's a picture of her with her 3 little children that she had quickly. And when women give birth and their stomachs extend and then they go back, the skin stretches and it's not as cute as it used to be. And that's her within 60 days, just using the firm. This is Emily Banky. She's a friend partner, and she basically lost a whole lot of her cellulite on her legs. So even the skinny young girls that tree just makes me smile. Even the young girls that think they have problems, everyone has something wrong with their body in your own mind. So Emily had a few little dots there, and she got rid of them. And with a firming. I don't know what this is, but I had to look at this one for a while before I realized what it was. It's like the back of your thigh, right here, so you can tell how that got firmed up. She can wear a bathing suit now, with pride. Who would think the knee would ever need any work? Your knee's your knee, right? It's a bony part of your body. But the knee has some extra skin too, so kind of like that picture. Not that cute, but functional. So what I told you in the beginning was based on years of research. They were researching melanoma. They weren't researching anti-age, but it all kind of came together, which is really kind of cool. And if you want to Google Nerium Biotech, that's the scientific company, and they were doing 10 or 12 years of research when they made this discovery. And the exclusive formula. So what I want to say also is we are patented. Nobody can ever copy ours. They try to do like a generic kind of thing, and there's a lot of copycats out there, but none of them has our patented formula. Because we have the NAE8, they call it NAPE, which is the NAPE is a molecule of the oleander plant. Oleander flower. NAPE, yes, it has the conjunction. The other really great thing that I want to talk to you about is the fact that when Jeff Olson agreed to take this product and start a network marketing company, he said, okay, under one condition. And biotech scientists can say, okay, Jeffy, what is that? And he said, I want to give you 30% of all of our profit from day one. They go, you drive a hard bargain, but I guess you take it. So let's clap for every person that we sign up, every bottle that we sell of our 4 things, 3 bottles and 1 bunch of pills, which I can't wait to tell you about. We give 30% of that back to the biotech company for further research. Within a year and a half of our company, remember we're 4 years old now, we were 100% funding that company. That's what I like to tell people that I'm talking to about the business. It makes my heart feel good that we are giving back to society, to that company, to do more medical research, which I think is really a cool thing. So after 10 years and then 2-3 more years of testing, that's when we were born, in 2011. We have the antioxidant, and there it is. There's that flower again. We also have a scientific advisory board. I don't think any other companies out there have that. This is kind of like the board of directors. The advisory board is not Nerium employees or executives. These are all scientists and doctors which act as advisors about any questions or whatever, about the safety, about whatever. These are the people, and this just started last year. So they also guide the clinical studies and further research for our new products. So this is the real deal. We are the real deal. So I love this slide because they took it out, now they put it back in this presentation. The third-party clinicals I told you that Jeff did before he accepted the challenge of marketing the company. See this machine right here? The company is called STT Research, and this is a very technical, I'm not a technical or scientific person, but this will even test emerging lines. So it basically told us that we have 30% average improvement on fine line wrinkles, deep lines, discoloration, pores, all over sagging skin. So people would go in there, and they would, actually in Korea they have one of these, so people can go in there now, they can scan their faces, and then use our product for 30 days, and go back and scan, and then get those pictures of the before and after with the lines. Fine lines and wrinkles, discoloration, uneven skin texture, pores, and sagging skin. I think I hit them all before when I told you about it. That's what it does. It's a one-step product. It's all you really need. The day cream is an amazing moisturizer. It's a nice additive. All the pictures were just on the one, but the day cream makes it to have 24-hour power. $80 preferred customer, $110 retail. Preferred customer means that you have your own website. You'll get another one the next month if you want it. You can get it for free if you get 3 referrals on your little customer website. It's really cool. It's like a Groupon. And there it is. Refer 3 and you get it free. All you pay for is shipping for a customer. And ADO means automatic delivery. It's not a scary thing because you have control of it. And you can stop it, you can move it out. To talk about the firm. Firm is for the body. Smooth like firm, love handle, stomach, thighs, up, arms. You know, I already told you about it, so cool. EHT, I'm going to spend a little time on EHT. This is really, I think this is going to be our biggest product of all of them. They're all amazing, but this one really excites me because everyone has skin, but not everyone really cares about their skin. I've got 2 sisters that are younger, but they look older. They say, I have earned every one of these wrinkles. I don't care about it. I am me. You're going to get people that think that. You know, the bad big thing, oh well, you know, I'm not vain, but I like to look good, and it's my business, so I used it, and I'm pretty happy with the product. But the EHT is a brain health pill. I'm going to tell you a little bit of background on this, too. Not sure exactly what they have in the slides, but it was developed after 20 years of research at Princeton University. We're not affiliated with Princeton University, but we're affiliated with the 2 doctors, father and son doctor and professor at Princeton. Their names are Jeffrey Stock, S-T-O-C-K like market, and Maxwell Stock, his son. And they have a little company. Whenever you do research, you have to start with a company. The company is called Signum Biosciences, if anybody wants to check that out. And it tells what they've done. So they came up with this. They were looking for a cure for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, different things like that. And they worked for 20 years at Princeton. Again, I've got to remind you, we're at Princeton, and Princeton holds the patent, but we don't have a partnership with them. Have to be careful because we have the partnership with Signum, with the doctors. So they found it, and they found it with a molecule from the coffee bean. The coffee bean, it has nothing to do with caffeine. It's the molecule from the coffee bean, that's the magic. It's like the oleander. is the magic of the Nerium, along with some aloe vera. This is the coffee bean with other things too. If you look at the box I have here, you see all the ingredients are all natural. So this is what it does. It promotes better cognitive function and overall brain health. Cognitive function means memory. Natural brain functions, energy stores, immune system, and increased focus. And also better sleep. I personally have been dreaming better. I mean, what I mean is remembering dreams because I'm sleeping harder. And when I wake up, I'm ready to go even if it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a morning person. Those of you that are my friends know not to call me before noon. I haven't had enough coffee, so I'll tell you the EHD has helped me personally. So what happened was these two doctors had this product and they put it out there, and the FDA wanted them to go medical because it did all the things that medical prescriptions would take care of. And they said, well, we don't really want to. We want to go with a company that's not pharmaceutical. So they looked around, and they looked and looked and looked and looked, and they made it up. They found Nerium, and they met Jeff Olson, and they came to a couple of conferences just to see our culture. And they actually came to our St. Louis conference this past April. And Max Stock spoke, and that's when they announced that EHD was coming out. We were able to buy it on a pre-launch. Brand partners and current customers could buy it, but it wasn't open to anyone in the public until August. So talk about cutting edge, brand new, ground floor. This is it, kids. Right now, this is it with EHD. Another thing that I want to tell you about it is, again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know the words. Probably some of you could do this part a lot better than I could. But Max Stock at conference in April, he was talking about the neurons, the tubules, and when we get old, we forget stuff. And we forget stuff because, again, non-scientific, but we get these pieces of our brain frayed. So when they fray, we don't remember stuff. So what this EHT does is it heals that, and it puts our brain tubes back together. Is a real cryptic explanation of why it works, and that's why it works. Also, concussions. If you've ever been in any contact sports or fallen, you've had a concussion, you have a brain injury, you probably have something that went apart. Right now the NFL is promoting, I don't know if they're promoting, but a lot of NFL football players, current and past, are using EHD, and they are signing up as brand partners to sell the product and build up their business based on EHD sales, because everyone wants a brain like this, not like this. Okay, so that's a really basic explanation. That's how I learned it. That's how I know what it does. It's all natural. A lot of doctors are getting on the bandwagon, and it's just now starting to take. So I'm just telling everyone here that's looking for a job, that's looking for a company that's amazing and it's going up and to the right, like this, not even like this. This is what you want to do. Yes? The ones that are in it are glad that we have this new product. Okay, so really for what it does, it's very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. $55 for 30 pills. To do what it does, it's really not expensive. You can't turn in for medical reimbursement because it's not a medicine, remember? It's specified supplement, but it really does amazing things. Retail would be $75, but you want to go and save yourself $20. You can buy 2 for $100 just for the pricing of it. Your dream lifestyle. Okay. So, will you sign up to be a brand partner in this business? What I want all my new people to do is, it's over here. There, now I'll look at you for a while. I got it. Is what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want a big goal? Do you want a small goal? Do you want to carpet your furniture, your house? Do you want to take your family to Disney? Do you want to take your family on a cruise? I did. It was really cool. when I took the family on a cruise. Do you want a car to tell you how to get your Lexus payments paid for? Think about that. This kind of reminds me. When my husband and I were first married, we were in our early 20s, and he was a college student, and he went, and his boss in the Sears paint department, where he worked part-time, worked for Amway, so we went to a meeting, and all I can think of is, we sat there, and we had a video, and the guy before he said, what would you do with an extra $1,000 a week? And we're thinking, oh, this is creepy. $1,000 a week, we'd like it. I was making $100 a week then, supporting us at being a secretary in a law firm. And so this is kind of like what it reminds me of. It's always like, imagine yourself. This is real. This is real. I mean, what would you do to get a Lexus? Would you join? Would you get 3 people to join with you? And then help those 3 people get 3 people to get your Lexus? Sure you would. Sure you would. If you have a corporate job right now, is there any program where you can get a $50,000 bonus? Just as a bonus? Is there a program where you could get a free Lexus? Probably not. So think about that. This is all very doable. One thing I want to say about that is that pink company, the pink ladies that wear the suits, there's 1,200 pink Cadillacs in the United States right now. That company's about 60 plus years old. We're 4 years old. We have 15,000 Lexuses out there. What does that tell you? I like that company. I like the product. I use the product. I have a lady that sells me the product. I'm very happy with it. But I'm telling you, as far as the business goes, there's a big difference if you're looking for something. Making people better. So when Jeff started the company, how's our time going? How are we doing, Raylan? I didn't hear you about that. So Jeff Olson is our CEO, and there's a lot of good things. Besides paying, supporting the science company, the biotech company, 30%, just totally fund them. We also have a partnership with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause because you donated years ago. You had a gala event right in the downtown. And you collected what? $1,400. And that's just this market for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Brand partners, we all contributed last year alone $1 million. So that's just our little donations. And Jeff Olson, out of his pocket, matches whatever we donate. And we've got a lot of people in the program too. Very worthwhile to help the youth of America. I think it's really cool. We also have Live Happy, which is the happiness movement. I could go on and on about this because I really love it. And really, to be successful, you've got to be happy first, and then you're going to see success. Instead of saying, when I get my job promotion, when I pay off my credit card debt, I'll be happy. But actually, you're going to find your goal quicker if you're happy. This all starts from your head. Jeff also wrote the Slight Edge book, which we all get with our kids. And he also has a Slight Edge for teens. And if anybody doesn't know this, what you can do is have your school write a letter to Nerium, and he will gift free books to the school district of Slight Edge for teens. I think that's pretty amazing, and that comes right out of his pocket. So, I already talked about the success from home, $1 billion. Pretty amazing. So we've actually been on the cover of that, and this is our 4th time in 4 years that we have been featured in Success from Home magazines. If you look at it, you're going to think it's a Nerium publication. It's actually a publication that changes the companies out every year. Every month. There's a new company featured. So why relationship marketing? I used to have a job. I was a paralegal. I was a legal secretary for, 25 plus years. And I worked for the man, and I worked hard, I worked overtime, and I got paid for time. for Tom, I got overtime. When you have relationship marketing, you get paid for results. So you can work whenever you want to. You can build it big or small. You can have a lot of customers. You don't have to have a lot of customers. As long as we have 3 customers, we're going to get our next product for free. Sorry. Cough amplified. One thing that I want to show you, the difference between my jewelry company, where I was, and Nerium, where I am now, is I had to sell $2,500 worth of jewelry a month to get paid on my team. That's a lot. That's 8 to 10 great parties that I was schlepping jewelry out to. I loved it. It was my life. It was my everything. And I loved it. But I had to work hard to get paid on my team. With Nerium, all we have to do is have an $80. Love it. So, leave it there. I have an extra $1 because I need more. It's right there. Thank you so much. I love those presents under the tree. Very cool. So anyways, I had to work hard to get paid on my team. So with our company, Nerium, rest out there, all we have to do to keep active is we have to take an ownership of an $80 thing, either the night cream or the firm or 2 VHTs. That's all we have to do. But it gets better. It gets better. If we have 3 customers, we get that product for free next month. So we don't have to really do anything to keep active except have 3 customers. If those 3 customers buy again the next month, then we're good. If one drops off, we have to get another one. That's all we have to do. Also, we get free inventory. We get a free bottle for every customer. We get a free bottle of the night cream for every brand partner that we sign. With jewelry, I was spending a good $8,000 a year on jewelry to show. And then they would retire it, and then I would buy more. So I'm just telling you the difference. You know, and again, I loved it. I didn't know that it was hard. I didn't know how much money I was spending to keep my job active. But this one, we're basically not spending anything. And we have all the same write-offs. Low startup cost. This is the last month that you can start for $250 with a very, very basic one. Next month it goes back up to $500. We're getting more product. I just wanted to let you know that quickly. So if money's an issue, you can always do the $250 and then do the $250 upgrade next month. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm just saying that if you're on the fence and you've been thinking about it a while, don't wait till January 1, sign in December, because you could get in for less money and then just make up the rest of it next month. Okay, no boss and no employees. Great leverage, meaning get paid on the team that we create. Like if we start a realty company and we're doing house sales and purchases, if we're a company of our own, I just love this whole audience and all the Christmas stuff. It makes me really happy as I look at you and smile. You get paid on your own work. If you have some people join you and you start a little business, you're going to get paid on every deal and you're going to pay them differently. So that's leveraged income. Tax benefits. So there's a starter pack that I just mentioned. Mo's ahead of myself. That's how we are. So there it is. And for your starter pack, you're going to get 3 bottles of night cream. 1, 2, 3. E-commerce website, which I guess is cool. You're going to get the smartphone app, the Nerium Edge resource tools, magazines, everything you need for your business. There's a picture of all of it with 3 night creams. If you want to upgrade to the bronze pack, you're going to get 4 more night creams and a day cream. When I started, it was $500 or $1,000. For $500, I got 5 night creams. For $1,000, I got 12. So I'm a girl, I love a sale. So I did 1,000, figuring, well, if the business doesn't work out, I've got a whole year of product. And that's really my truth. That's really what I thought. The business did work out, and I still had all that product to share with people. So right now, for the 500, 250 plus 250, you'd be getting 8 bottles. I got 5. Things are getting better, aren't they? For the silver pack, so it's going to cost you $1,000. You're going to get your 3 plus your 14 and 2-day creams. If you're a salon, you want to have a lot of stuff on hand. You want to do the gold pack, which is $1,500 plus $250. So you're going to get 33 night creams. If you do the math on that, it's like $50 a bottle. It's really pretty cool and 4-day creams. So those are the choices of sign-ups. Pick your pace. Free inventory, I already said this, but there you go. You're going to get a free bottle every time you increase your business by a brand partner or a customer. Lexus. I'm going to go through these in like 30 seconds because it's easy. Numbers are complicated, but all we have to do to earn our Lexus payment of $500, we can buy it, we can lease it, we own it. The title is our name. It's not a company car. But the company makes our payments of $500. If you're a national marketing director, once you're an NMD, you can upgrade and get a $750 payment. This is how you do it. I already said it, but I'm going to do it again. So you're going to have 3 people join your team. And then as soon as they get, and then you'll get your iPad and you get 3 people join your team, more or less. Then, when they get their 3 people, when they get their iPad, you're going to get your Lexus payment. So without going into all of this money and stuff, I'm just going to say 3 get 3. So you have a total of 12 people on your team, and you have a total value of $12,000, which is not hard. The Pink Cadillac ladies have to have $90,000 in sales of lipsticks for 3 months, and then I think they get it. They start out with Pinto Right. We were laughing about that the other day. So I'm not saying anything bad about that. If there's any of those pink ladies out there, I don't want to have them baby. So there it is. Oh, building residual income. This is something that I didn't know when I joined. I didn't know about residual income. This is earning leveraged income on everything that you create in your business. So when you start and you build, and then you build, and then you build a big triangle. There it is, like that tree. That's our company right there. And you're the star. So stand up and show us this is your business. We're going to build a triangle. Yeah. Love it. That's my favorite ever. So what happens is our businesses, we can sell them, or we can give them away, or we can will them to people. So the cool thing about it is, when I left my jewelry company, my whole team went up to my sponsor. It just rolled up. If we age, get ill, or whatever, can't work, that money for our residual income, for our soft income, keeps coming. It's kind of like if you think of it this way, because people can't understand how that happens. Let's say that you're a songwriter and you write a fabulous song, and you have somebody record it. Every time they sell a record, CD now and iTunes download, technology changes. Every time they sell one, you get some money. You get a little bit of money for every record, iTunes download, whatever, forever. And then somebody else records your song that you wrote. Guess what? You get more money forever. That's what residual income is, if you want to think about it that way. And I think it's really cool. So I've got 4 sweet grandchildren. So my will says that my business, they're going to keep my ABO active for the $80 so that my residual doesn't start. And my legacy to my 4 grandkids is basically my residual income. So that's my why. It's kind of neat, but there it is. And that's why I work so hard. I work so hard and I travel so much because I like helping all of my friends build up their business. So I just want to share my life. I just want to tell you my truth and finish this up here. So the better bonuses. So $50,000 is the first level, $150 is the second, $375. How many national marketing directors we have here? Let's stand and say hey and where did they go? They left. The Whitney plan, they left. Probably setting up for the next part. They actually got theirs, and I got mine, and that's actually $2,000 a month for 2 years. And I'd love them to say something about that. I actually did earn my 150 because I have 3 National American directors on my team. They got their 50, so I got their 150. I didn't call me the check for 150. It's 8,000 a month for 18 months. That's how that's paid out. So they're real people, real results. And I just want to show you this. It's really cool. Look at these numbers. So our first year, remember I told you about 100 million and how I was there 3 months and I helped them do that? Not really, it's a good story. Amazon, eBay, and Google in their first year, and they're pretty hot and big companies, 220, 375, and $511,000 their first year. And look at us. One little bottle, one country is it. Did it. I think that's pretty impressive. And $1 billion in, actually this is old, isn't it? This is an old slide. This doesn't say that we actually did it.
There's more slides.
We did it out, is it? Oh yeah, sorry. There it is. In 2015 we got $1 billion, guys. That's really impressive. $1 billion, and what's that? 1,000 million? 1,000 million? Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot about this one. 2013, 219 million. On the DSA, we were 54 on the top 100 list. Our first year in business, we were number 86, I believe. In 2014, we were number 40 on the top 100 list of companies like ours. And we also launched the Contour Cream and Optimera in Canada and Mexico. They have a little different product and different formulation. How many know people in Canada and Mexico or Korea? Do you know people or know people that know people? You could build there too. One seamless global company. 2015, there it is. 1 billion. We were rated number 12 fastest growing company. We launched the EHT, opened to South Korea. Wow, isn't that cool? Oh, that just like populated there. So the industry is projected to become $1 trillion industry by 2025. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? So we would love you to be a part of that. And so right now we're going to have you pick your products. So there are different kits that you can get, different packages, just the night, the day and night, just the body, EHD, or all of that. And we kind of already did it. Repeat. That's it. So, just to finish off, I just want to tell everyone that I'm really glad to have you all come. Thank you for brand partners for being here. Thank you to guests that are taking a look at the business. This is the best time of the year to start. I'm telling you, this is really the best time of the year to start. We get paid 5 times a month. We get paid every Wednesday, and then we get paid on the 15th for the residual part of our paycheck, which builds as we grow a team and customers. And I just want to let you know that I'm going to be around for a little bit if you want to ask me more personal questions. Get back to the person that invited you, and have a great holiday, everyone. Thanks for coming.